Hello, I am Afol Lancelot Banson, and this is Words of Wisdom. Before we continue, I would like you to comment on this video, like it, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel and click the notification button so that every time I upload motivational content, you will be notified. Very soon we'll be coming to the end of our series on the psychology of achievement. This is the last but one part of this series, and I hope that you have been benefiting from this series. Today we are looking at attitude. This is an interesting topic, yet it is also a very powerful topic. In this coronavirus hysteria and pandemic, a lot of people's attitude towards life, towards work, towards success, towards what they can accomplish has shifted. For many, it has gone from good to bad and from bad to worse. But for the minute few, the attitudes have moved up a notch. The attitudes have moved forward. For me in particular, I was hit by this pandemic. Running a piano academy is not an easy job. And I had 23 students before the pandemic. When the pandemic struck, 13 of my students stopped. So that's about 60% of my revenue was gone. But I fought back. I advertised, I marketed, I did videos, I spoke to people, and I continued teaching the students that I had with joy and with excitement. I came up with other business strategies to get more students on board, and it worked. Now I have 22 students, and very soon, by the end of this month, it will increase to possibly 25 or 30. The attitude you possess determines what you can accomplish in life. If your attitude is negative and is bad, your accomplishment will match that. There comes a time in our lives when we have to fight or flee, face the danger that is ahead of us, or turn and run away. Whether we do the good or the bad, whether we face the danger or run away, whether we fight or flee, determines our success. But this action of fighting or fleeing is determined by our attitude. There are people, when they meet a giant, they take to the hills and flee. And there are others, when they meet the giant, they will fight and would rather die fighting than run away. What determines the action a person takes? What causes a boxer who is being constantly knocked down to keep getting up till they eventually win? It is attitude. So what is attitude? Attitude is your mental approach to what you are doing or what is in front of you. This could be your work, your education, charity, what you are doing, rendering in service to mankind or in church, life, people, hard times, challenges, money, your future, fear, or even death. The way you approach all the above and many more is determined by your attitude. Your attitude is your outlook on life, and you can determine a person's attitude by their actions, by their facial expression, and by the words they speak. Let's talk about the power of attitude. Attitude has the power that literally fills your body with energy or drains it of all the energy it has already. Your attitude can fill your whole body with energy even when you are weak. In a boxing match, when someone is able to just land one good punch after receiving so many, will eventually receive this energy and this sense of force and excitement and effervescence, and they fight forward and they keep pushing forward, landing more punches, receiving punches, landing them, receiving them, giving them, till they eventually win. It's attitude. When you have a positive attitude, it will fill your body with energy. But when you have a negative attitude, it will drain your body of any energy you have. It will influence you positively or negatively. Now, attitude can influence the following. Number one, your level of performance. When you are performing any task at work, at church, at home, anywhere, your attitude will determine whether your performance will be exceptional or pathetic. Skill has a role to play in performance, but your attitude will determine how much effort you put into what you are doing, how much you are willing to learn about what you are doing so that you can perform. Number 2, attitude affects the quality of work. Your quality of work is determined by your attitude. Proverbs 22 verse 29 says that, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before mean men." Positive attitude produces diligence, and negative attitude produces slothfulness or laziness. So the quality of your work is determined by your attitude, your attention to detail, your level of excellence, your consistency is all determined by your attitude. Number 3, the quantity of work you do, how much work you are able to get done, is affected by your attitude. The person with the positive attitude can do so much work in a day and still want to do more. When I was teaching at St. Peter's, there were times when in a given term, I would give as much as 22, 23, 24 exercises in a term and about 18 to 19 homeworks in the same term. When others were averaging 11 and 7 and 9, the minimum requirement for my subject was actually 7 exercises for the term, but I was 300% above the minimum requirement. Why? Attitude. Attitude affects the quantity of work that you do. 4, attitude affects your level of creativity. When you have a positive attitude towards life, you become creative. You find ways to do things. Even when there's a stumbling block in your way, when there's a brick wall in your way, you find a way to get over the wall, get around the wall, go under the wall, or go through the wall. Because attitude always affects your creativity. When you have a negative attitude, you are never creative. But when you have a positive attitude, you will always be creative. You will always find ways. So are you having challenges because of this pandemic or this coronavirus hysteria? Well, maybe you should have a positive attitude towards life. And we'll look at how to develop such an attitude. And as you develop this attitude, it will affect your creativity and you'll find answers to the questions that are bothering you. Number 5, your attitude affects your approach to danger or risk. When you have a positive attitude towards life, you approach danger differently. You see it as a challenge. You see it as something that is exciting and needs to be faced head on. You don't see it and run away. No, I'm not talking about the danger of when a car is coming down the road, you say, I have a positive attitude and so I'm going to stay and overcome this car. I'm going to jump over the car. No, that is madness. That is not your attitude. That's not a positive attitude. That is madness. I'm talking of the danger of you quitting your job to start a new business. You deciding to ditch the guy or girl you are going out with because they're not treating you right, with the hopes of having someone in future, even though no one is in sight. Those kind of risks. The risk of investing your money in a forex, or just keeping your money in a savings account where you are getting virtually nothing for the money. Attitude determines all of that. Now let's look at negative effects, or some negative effects of attitude. I actually have six negative effects of attitude. Number 1, a negative attitude will pull you down and keep you there. No matter how high you climb, a negative attitude will pull you down and keep you there. Number 2, a negative attitude will make you poor and keep you poor. You can become rich, but a sudden switch in your attitude from positive to negative will make you poor and keep you poor. Because when you are at the top, an attitude can pull you down by saying, well, you don't have to go to work that early. You are the best now. You don't have to put in that much effort now. And that's how the very best become the very worst. That's how a negative attitude pulls you down. Maybe you've worked so hard, you've built a company, you've become rich. The negative attitude sets in. Come on. It's just 8 o'clock. You don't have to go to work. Come on, wait till 12 o'clock and go. You're so rich now. Relax, sleep a little bit more. And the Bible says just a little sleep just a little slumber, just a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall poverty overtake you like an armed robber. So a negative attitude will make you poor and keep you poor. Number 3, a negative attitude will make you indifferent and keep you that way, where you don't care what happens. You're not even moved. Things are happening to you. You are losing your job and you don't care. You are losing your family. You are not moved. You are losing your wife. You are not moved by what is happening. A negative attitude makes you indifferent. It makes you lukewarm. It makes you cold. Number 4, a negative attitude will put you on the defensive. Someone said the best defense is a good offense. When you have a positive attitude, you will be on the offensive. And that is what we need to do. We need to be on the offensive in life. We need to move forward in life. When Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather in the match that Floyd Mayweather won, according to Conor McGregor, Mayweather was used to fighting on his heels. That's the defensive, on his heels. So he's always on the defensive. But when he met Conor McGregor, after a few punches and he saw that the fight was not the way he would want it to go, he changed his stance and was now fighting on his toes. He was using a Mexican style of boxing. And that eventually gave him the victory. You see, when you have a positive attitude, you will go on the offensive. When you believe you can win, you will go on the offensive. Number 5, a negative attitude will blind you from the opportunities around you. In this coronavirus hysteria, people are breaking through. People are having successes. People are making money. People are starting businesses. How did I increase my students when they're being reduced from 23 to 10 back to 22 or up to 22? I studied businesses that had succeeded and that were started during difficult times, during depressions. Examples: Apple and Microsoft were started during a recession. Facebook was started during a recession. Amazon was started during a recession. There are so many companies that were started during a recession. I studied about them. There's a book, How They Started in Tough Times. I read that book and I got ideas and I implemented the ideas and it worked for me. Number 6, a negative attitude will open your eyes to see the faults and dangers around you. So even when an opportunity comes, a negative attitude will say, you can't do it because of this. You can't do it because of this risk, because of that risk, because of social distancing, because of face masks. You can't do that. You can't do the other, and so on and so forth. That is the result of a negative attitude. Now let's look at some of the effects of a positive attitude. There are 7 of them. Number 1, a positive attitude will lift up your spirit and keep it there. When you are down and you have a positive attitude towards life, it will lift up your spirit. It will energize you. It will invigorate you. It will fill you with fire and passion that you want to now move on and do something meaningful with your life. Number 2, it will enable you endure hard times. A positive attitude will enable you endure hard times. No matter how difficult the situation is, you will endure it. When my students were reduced to 10, it was tough managing the finance because about half the money was going to my rent. So I had to find ways and means to survive. But because I was positive, I knew I would succeed. And so I endured the hard times. There were times when I went without food. There were times when I was eating just 1 meal a day for a number of weeks. But I was still exercising. I was still putting together the Young Achievers magazine. I was still giving out motivational quotes. You see, when you believe that you will succeed, you endure the difficult times that come. Number 3, a positive attitude will empower you to overcome hardships. You will not just endure hard times, but you will overcome it because of a positive attitude. Number 4, a positive attitude will strengthen you to take responsibility for your life. We live in an area where so many people are irresponsible. And so when you have a positive attitude, it will help you to take responsibility for your life. Remember, life is just about 2 things: choices and consequences. When you make a choice, there's a consequence that comes with that choice. And when you are responsible for the consequence, when you take responsibility, you make smarter and wiser choices so you can have better consequences. Simple as that. Number 5, it will stop you from blaming others. People are blaming the government, people are blaming their uncle, people are blaming someone. In Africa, it seems that everybody is looking for the opportunity to blame someone for where they are. But when you have a positive attitude, you will not blame people. A quote I gave out yesterday was, excuses are the crutches of the uncommitted. When you are blaming people for all that is happening around you, what you are saying is that you are not committed and you are not responsible. But you are listening to me because you are responsible and you are committed. And so you are not blaming people. Number 6, a positive attitude will open your eyes to see opportunities around you. In this pandemic, people have found ways to make money. Those who sold nose masks have made money. Those who ordered and sold face shields have made money. Those who made hand sanitizers have made money. I have made more money because I have chosen to go and teach students in their homes instead of them coming to my studio. Some still come to my studio, but others want me to come to their homes. And I've done that. And I now have clients. Some are medical doctors, some are lawyers, some are business managers, some are teachers, and so on and so forth. Some are engineers. All these individuals were there looking for someone to come and teach their children the piano at home. Had it not been for the pandemic, I would not have seen that opportunity. So in a way, we can say, thank you for the pandemic. Number 7, an attitude that is positive will empower you to make choices despite the dangers. When you have a positive attitude, you will make choices despite the dangers that are surrounding it. You make the choice of starting a business. This is a good time to start a business because you have now seen how things are and you become realistic yet positive about your projections, and you can become creative. People are making a lot of money online. If you are a computer tech, be creative and find ways that you can build a business online. Make choices despite the dangers. So how do you develop a positive attitude? Number 1, believe in yourself. Listen to me. I don't care who you are, where you come from, when or where you were born. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never accomplish anything in life. Number 2, believe in other people's belief in you. Sometimes people believe in you. They know you because they see what you can do and they believe in you. You need to believe in their belief in you and take action. That's another way to build a positive attitude. Number 3, believe that you will be successful despite the challenges you are facing. Believe that you will be successful despite the challenges you are facing. We all go through challenges. Les Brown said that either you are coming out of a challenge, you are in the middle of a challenge, or you are about to go into a challenge. So believe that you'll be successful. Number 4, spend time dreaming about your ideal future. Create your future, dream about it, and pursue it. Don't be a chicken. Create your future, dream about it, and pursue it. I have a book that I'm starting this morning by Brian Tracy, Create Your Own Future. Peter F. Drucker said the only way to predict the future is to create it. Number 5, steady attitude like a subject in school. Go online, watch videos about attitude, read scripts, read quotes about attitude, learn about it, and develop a very strong attitude. And finally, number 6, hang around people who have a positive attitude. When I was in London, I played for a soccer team, London Colony. And one time, back in 1990, we had a match and only 9 of us showed up. We were 16 in the team, but only 9 of us showed up. And our coach said, it was an away match too, and our coach, Barry Pond, said, we are not chickening out of this match. We are going to play this match. If we decide to forfeit the match, we are going to lose the 3 points. And then they are going to also be awarded 3 goals. Automatic. But if we decide to play, who knows the outcome? By the end of the first half, we were down by 2 goals to 0. Now, this was a time when you could make 3 substitutions. They had 16 players, 11 in the field, and 5 substitutes. We had 9, so there's no substitution for us. But because of a positive attitude, because we chose not to give up, because we chose to give all our best, no matter what happens, at the end of the 90 minutes, the score was 10-2 in our favor. We had been able to net 10 goals in the second half. That's what a positive attitude can do for you. And that team won because of a positive attitude. You can succeed in the midst of this pandemic. You can get $1 billion idea in the midst of this pandemic if you would only have a positive attitude. This has been Afol Lansford Banson saying, don't forget to comment on this video, like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification button. God richly bless you.